Today's data landscape probably looks a lot like my garage. A bunch of shit everywhere that you swear you're organized one day, but you just haven't gotten to it. Jim and Carl probably built it to quality standards in the 90s, but they retired in 2014 and nobody's really understood how it works since. But now your board is forcing you to look at modernizing your data architecture. So how do you do that when you don't have good data hygiene within your organization? That's where data landscape overhauls come in. I'm just going to be so for real with you, it's not pretty. 9 times out of 10, it sucks, it's painful, but it's necessary work. The first thing we need to do is just get honest. Let's not go to meetings and pretend like this is going to be some sunshines and roses project, because probably you were sitting on, especially if you're a large organization, a pretty patchwork system. ERP here, little CRM there, a lot of Excel everywhere, maybe some cool emerging technologies in some business units, but for the most part, we're still living in the 90s, haunted by the ghosts of Carl and Jim from IT. Okay, so we have to start at the beginning. We have to take an inventory of all the systems. If you skip this part, you might as well just not do it. Not only talking system audits, but what we're talking about is listing every single data source and what it's used for, and be prepared to be shocked by the amount of duplicates. Use those ETL pipelines. Okay, you're not too good for them, just go ahead and use it. ETL is extract, transform, load. These are platforms that are going to help you organize and evaluate your data. These are platforms like Snowflake, Palantir, Databricks. Read the contract, okay? These are still vendors. These are still different platforms. They can be super helpful, but do not get taken advantage of. Start at the beginning with the redundancies, okay? It doesn't have to be, rocket science in the beginning. Keep it simple. If 2 systems do the same thing, consolidate it into 1. Make it fun. Think of it like spring cleaning, except instead of old t-shirts, you're tossing out customer databases that are duplicates that nobody will admit to owning. Then we're going to make sure we're all speaking the same language and set rules and definitions. What we're trying to solve for here in layman's terms is sales says Q4 revenue was one number, finance says another, marketing says another, manufacturing says another, and we need to all be on the same page in order to get any sort of stakeholder alignment. Super simple. Make a definition of all of the terms and circulate it across the organization. Will it be perfect the first time? Absolutely not. But it is a start. The executive team really needs to champion this, because it doesn't matter what the data team or the IT team says or DevOps. It's really going to be what the executive sets the expectations for. If your executives are not setting expectations for your data governance plans, then there's no point in doing them. Now that we have the rules, we've got to automate that enforcement, because we can talk about it in 17 meetings that could have been an email all day long, but if we don't actually enforce it, then there's no point in doing it. Build these rules into your reporting layer, Tableau, Power BI, whatever. Do not learn from Carl and Jim in accounting. Rely on tribal knowledge. Now that we've defined the rules and enforcing them, then comes the governance. Trying to avoid here is having 15 different beautiful dashboards telling 15 different stories. Assign and create that ownership for data stewards and owners, whether we're talking finance, HR, sales, whatever. These people are not just guardians of the data, but they are referees to ensure that it stays in the governance model. Use data governance platforms. That's what they're there for. Calibra, Elation, at least evaluate them to see if they might help you. Something I see missed a lot in data governance is assessing those policies. Everyone is tired and sick of the shit by the time we get to this point. So we need to, push it over the finish line and ensure we understand who's seeing what and what is necessary. And as someone that believes in data transparency, what we're trying to avoid here is just confusion and organization. Think of data governance kind of like curating a Spotify playlist. If everyone just dumps shit in it and it's not organized, all of a sudden we have death metal, millennial bangers, and Baby Shark all playing in one playlist, and nobody's happy. With a clean data landscape, you can actually trust what you're getting in those dashboards. Predictive analytics stops becoming like weird fortune telling and actual good business decision making. And all of a sudden we've stopped arguing about whose spreadsheet is right and started hitting collaborative KPIs. Clean data equals alignment. Alignment equals the use of AI as an actual business strategy as opposed to a stupid buzzword.